Hey everyone, this is Nikachu, and I am here with my brother as we take on the modern challenge with Merfolk. But before we do that, let's go thank our sponsor, themanabase.com. Don't forget, if you want to get an edge in Commander, go check out James LePage's The Metalworker on themanabase.com. You might need that edge in Commander, because we got a lot of 1 versus 1 Commander is pretty hot these days. We have a bland but playable hand here.
Is that a bird in his avatar?
No, that's Talrand. That is a merfolk that is probably wearing a bird. Yeah, I guess that's what he's doing. It's a merfolk. I mean, our hand is good. There's nothing wrong with it. Dark Slick Shores. We're up against Ad Nauseam. Now we have interaction. We have 8 solid counter spells in the sideboard.
But they're in the sideboard.
They're in the sideboard. We have a pretty dinky clock, I would say. We need at least... We got a Curse Catcher. That's good news. That will slow things down. They didn't have a turn 1 Lotus Bloom. So how are we going to...
this Lotus Bloom?
I need Lords. Okay, so if I play Mutavault now, is there any chance that I attack with it next turn? No, but there is a chance that I could go draw another Mutavault, and I'll play that as my 3rd land drop when I play Mararegery. So I'm going to show the Mararegery. That is great. That is exactly where we want to be. That's exactly what we needed to see. Now, something important to know against Ad Nauseam, they're not playing with a few sweepers. I saw like a list play with like 1 Supreme Verdict in the sideboard, and I ran into Bontu's Last Reckoning in another game that actually, well, it didn't have an effect on the game because I didn't have all that many creatures. I extended my deck by board by 1 creature, but it didn't matter. I was going to lose anyway. But very important to mention to not overextend post board. Keep just enough creatures on the board that will get the clock done. Because if they make that sweeper, it's not pleasant. It is not pleasant. What is this? Okay, now I don't... Oh, wait, all that stuff I said about everything, I have no idea what's going on now. I didn't expect a Scalding Tarn. Maybe this deck is... Well, clearly this deck is just not what I thought it was. Well, there's the Mutavault that I was talking about, and that's the point, so that next turn we can activate... I played Mutavault on turn 2, so that next turn we can activate both Mutavaults and attack. And I guess I'm going to hold up Lord of Atlantis in my hand. I just don't know what's happening here. Or I guess I could play Lord of Atlantis? I'm not familiar with this sort of rogue deck. What plays Serum Visions and a Scalding Tarn and Dark Slick Shores? I have a win next turn if my opponent doesn't do anything. So I'll keep the Lord of Atlantis in my hand. Unless my opponent can convince me to play this thing. Oh, it could be Faeries! We could be up against Faeries.
Boo.
Yeah, boo. It's a huge boo. So in that case, we will play the Lord of Atlantis. Actually, that was silly. We should have just... we get in some damage. It's not that bad, but I should play the Harbinger instead. But now I'm pretty sure we're up against Faeries. This is Faeries.
He's fairly certain.
I'm fairly certain this is Faeries, because that is a Dark Slick Shores Mutavault deck. Yeah, okay, we're 1,000% up against Faeries now.
You're 1,000% gonna win.
Well, I don't know about that, but we have good chances. So
turn it all sideways.
Yeah, and this is the advantage having Harbinger of the Tides on the battlefield instead that turn. I think we can say... Okay, let's say you activate Mutavault to block Lord of Atlantis. 9, 11. Oh shoot, you don't die.
But he's gonna be so close, he'll probably just resign.
And they trade. Yeah, okay, so that's actually a very good point. So let's do that. Or Snapcaster Mage blocks this thing. That's not bad either. And you still take basically lethal. Okay, I'm fine with that.
Defense, defense.
An interesting thing is the Mutavault is going to trade with Lord of Atlantis because it's pumping Mutavault right now, but then after Lord of Atlantis dies, it will kill the Mutavault. So they're at 1, and we have 2 Mutavaults. So we have pretty good protection. I mean, they can't even play Cryptic Command, but we would have pretty good protection against that if that was a problem. Okay, so let's just play a Harbinger.
Well, he didn't resign. He just passed. So.
Nah, they will. They might.
Believes there's a hope.
Or they're just looking for more information, like what else do you have in your hand?
Forget it.
Okay, so this is Faeries, even though they didn't show it. The funny thing about Faeries is they don't really have a whole lot of stuff to show. They got like Spell Stutter Sprite and stuff like that. So some things we are going to want are almost not every Fairy deck, so I'm not going to jam too many, but most Fairy decks are playing with Snapcaster Mage. I think, actually, I should retract that. Most Fairy decks should be playing with Snapcaster Mage. Another thing, Fairy, and all the Fairies have 1 toughness, so Gutshot is at least going to be a replacement for Dismember. And I definitely can have Dispel. What do I not want? Ether Vial is fine. Spreading Seas is awkward because they already have islands. Oh, but they have Creeping Tarpit, so I'm going to keep a few Spreading Seas for Creeping Tarpit. I feel like I want to shave something. Harbinger is bad because I don't want to bounce anything of theirs. I guess that's fine. That'll work. So Gutshot kills Vendilion Click, and it also kills Spell Stutter Sprite. I feel like having a third one in here, but we'll just leave it like that. Maybe we could have one over a Curse Catcher. This better be Fairies, or I'm going to look stupid. I'm going to look
what else
dumb.
could it be?
I'm on a Blue Devotion. This hand's bad. Bad's a wrong word. It's lukewarm. We'll keep it.
You have turn 1 interaction.
I have turn 1 something, but they have like Thoughtseizes in their deck. There's the Creeping Tarpit that I was talking about. Ugh.
No, it'll be fine.
It's gonna be fine, huh? My brother says it's gonna be fine.
It'll be okay.
1 Inquisition and this hand's crushed. Bitter Blossom. That's fine. It's like a lot of games where I can race a Bitter Blossom. I have beaten many a Bitter Blossom. So I guess we're gonna play a Curse Catcher. Start vialing them in as well.
You're gonna have a full board in front of you in no time.
I sided in Dispel, did I? Did I side in Dispel? I sided in Gutshot, Relic. I hope I sided in Dispel, because that's like mandatory. Hey, look at that. It's Liliana the Veil.
Not topless.
Not the topless version.
Wizards give us what we want.
Ooh, the guy's smart. Leaves his fairy to defend.
It'll be great. Just you wait and see. You can play everything in your hand right now.
First, my opponent doesn't have any islands. It's not helping me.
You have blockers for days in your hand.
The fairies fly.
It's okay.
I can't block flyers.
But he doesn't have any on the board yet. Oh, there it is.
There's one. I guess we're gonna discard. I think we'll just discard the vial. I don't need another one.
See? She's helping you clean up your hand.
Yeah, she's helping. So fortunately, or sorry, unfortunately, our opponent has a pretty good hand to play around uh, island walkers. What's this gonna be? Collective Brutality? Feels like Collective Brutality. Every single time I see 2 mana. Yeah. Any other modes? Just this one? I can't actually do anything about it. I have 2 curse catchers, but they don't mean anything. Maybe I should leave all the spreading seasons in.
Maybe you should have 8 seas again.
Mutavault is irrelevant. Maybe we should go to 8 Cs. So this was a no, and we'll take the other one up to 2. So we'll have 2 on 2. My situation's pretty bad. Let's attack this Liliana. Hope our opponent doesn't have Fatal Push or something. I would not mind trading one of these Curse Catchers for Mutavault. Well, honestly, I do mind, but there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, so here's the good news. Bitter Blossom is eating at our opponent's life. There is some outside chance of us just winning out of nowhere. That's not good news. That means there's another Liliana the Veil on the way. I also should have played this land. Because of Liliana the Veil. Or I guess maybe they didn't want to do that because they knew I guess they have something good in their hand. Or I don't know what I don't know what their reasoning is actually because they just played a land.
They have 1 card in their hand. That's it.
How many fairies do you have? Spellstarter Stirrup Right is counter target something equal to the number of fairies you control. So we can just play this thing. Hope you don't have Snapcaster Mage into Fatal Push. Sure. You don't know. Huh? Oh no! Oh, the Bitter Blossom. Oh, I missed that. And that's the manabase.com. Get dunked on instant replay. Okay, you got me. You got me. I was got. That's never happened to me before. That's sad. So we could have got it in play with the Ether Vial, but no, that's not happening. And now they're going to get their beatdown on, and we are now really far behind. We really need that Maraudri in play.
Here comes Master Waves. Just can't play anything.
I doubt it. Kira would be really good right now. I take it back. Harbinger is decent here. We can bounce Creeping Tarpit, and we can also bounce Fairy tokens. There is a real chance of our opponent just dying to Bitter Blossom. Bitter Blossom, when I look at this card, I'm pretty happy to see it. It's like, you tapped out on turn 2 for this thing. It has incremental advantage, but it also, unfortunately, we never had an opportunity to even dent our opponent. But if we did, the Bitter Blossom becomes an enormous liability.
Ugh. That was an island.
But you know what? I think I don't know what to say about this game. Our hand was very mediocre in the beginning. It was very mediocre. And although we were drawing some creatures, we drew them too late. We needed those creatures right at the beginning. So why are we playing on? I just want to see if this guy's going to show us something from their deck. Nope. And if our opponent is smart, they're not going to play anything. Yeah, they'll just activate this and attack for the win. That's fair. Okay. So I'm probably going to bring the Spring Seasons back in. I did bring in the Dispels, that's fine. Gut Shot is fine. We don't know for sure if this is a Snapcaster Mage deck, so how about we take that out? Bring Spreading Seas back in. Bring in... How many things do I have to bring in? I could bring this and 2 Gut Shots. That's fine. That's a fair deck. Smogus Copter should be very good here. Is there something I want to take out for this Curse Catcher? I guess not. Negate is like okay-ish. Oh, I'll just go with this. This is good. I'm happy with it. This sounds fine. Sounds good. And as you see, Gemstone Caverns perfectly fine at casting Silvergill Adepts, Mararegeries. Not a big deal. We'll start with Oboro, so that we don't, so we conceal what's going on with our hand. There's a Gut Shot, Merfolk. Although it's sort of gonna be useless now that we've got the our one of Cavern of Souls. Ugh, what do I want to play? Because like Lord of Atlantis turns on their Mutavaults. I wonder if this deck plays Bontu's Last Reckoning. Do you want, I should have showed them Mararegery, because that's like exactly what I'm going to play next turn. So they know one more card in my hand than.
I don't even.
Then I was hoping to show him.
I doubt this guy's paying attention. He's not taking notes. He doesn't even care what you reveal.
This is fine. Well, maybe fine is a strong term, but whatever. It's okay. We can kill the Liliana. How much do I want to commit to the board?
Should play that land first.
No, I don't want to play that land first. Show Mass of the Pearl Trident that they still know. This is definitely a deck that could play Damnation. They're definitely in position to be playing such a card. I guess I can't really do anything if they do have it. See how frustrating it is that they don't have islands.
And the blue in their...
They're doing a pretty good job playing around.
The blue in their dual land doesn't count?
Hmm?
The blue in their dual land doesn't count?
No, not these specifically. I don't know how much I should be playing around Damnation. Do I play around it a lot? Do I play around it a little bit?
Unload your hand.
Because right now it's... If I play anything, it's a 3-for-1. They didn't have Damnation last game, so let's...
Just go for it.
Yeah, okay. I am going to just take a calculated risk. If we lose, then we lose. And that's fine. If our opponent has Damnation. I actually have the option to attack our opponent. We don't need to attack this Liliana.
Could you gut shot the Liliana?
What if I can? I can gut shot the Liliana. Do I want to gut shot Liliana?
As long as she's not pregnant. I
Mm.
don't want to do that as bad.
Okay, let's take that line. Let's attack our opponent. Get the clock going. And then we'll gut shot Liliana. Oh, we're gonna have to redirect. Now we just hope for no damnation. Like, I don't know if they're playing it, but like, it is definitely a card they could play.
It's a board sweeper.
Yeah. Destroy everything. Lame it is, yeah.
On their side too?
On their side, but they don't have anything to lose. Like, these are creature lands, so they're gonna survive. These things are there's just gonna be more of these being made every turn.
Good.
Had 3 damnation, you made the perfect play to it, but I drew really awkward this game. Geez, sick shuffle. He had 3 damnations! I could feel it! Yuck.
Well, thanks for revealing,
Yeah,
buddy.
thanks for letting me know you've got 3 damnations.
Thanks.
Ooh, and the Mutavault, so I can...
Empty your hand plus tokens.
So the dealie is I want to try to kill my opponent. See, I tap down a Fairy. Because the thing is, the Bitter Blossom will finish them off. Unless they have Collective Brutality. Collective Brutality can do it. So I tap down a Fairy. Yeah, we'll do that. And if they want to block with Mutavault, I mean, that's fine. Extremely well played. I don't think so. I can't tell if this guy's being sarcastic or not. But, like... Yeah.
In the Magic community, it's hard to tell. It's so hard to tell.
I don't know, he seems sort of generous. I've never heard anyone say... Well, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. Is this guy being genuine or not? That's the real question. So what do we got here? That tournament report sucked. Maybe we could learn about some Magic cards by Larry W. Smith, PhD. Need to have a PhD if you want to write about Magic cards. You want to learn about banding? Okay, controller. This might not be too bad. The controller of a card refers to the player who is currently in control of the card. When you play... I love definitions that use the same word in the definition. When you first play a card, you are the controller of the card. Your opponent can cast a spell that reserves control of a card, such that it is now the other player's card to play. When a card refers to you, it means the player who controls the card. When the word your is used, this means the card that you control, irrespective of who actually owns it. If a card has been protected by a special ability of another card, then control cannot be taken away. The guy writes the book like in the language of Magic cards. It doesn't make any sense. Target creature you control, do X. This is blocked up language.
It was a different time back then.
In retrospect, I should have brought those negates in. Those are very important. It can counter Liliana the Veil. It can counter Damnation. Would have it's a little awkward because they can play Collective Brutality and take it from us. And what else? They could also play just Thoughtseize or Inquisition. They'd play those cards. So our opponent had like sort of clunky. I don't know what to say about this match because in one way they got unlucky. They didn't have any early interaction like Inquisition or Thoughtseize, which I know they play. But they didn't have islands. I mean, usually they're going to play some island and make this whole thing a lot easier for us. Like, they tap out for Liliana the Veil, and we just easily kill the thing. Yeah, it's so I don't know, give or take. Obviously, our opponent is a little bit bummed they didn't reach their fourth land to cast their 3 damnations. Keep in mind, Bitter Blossom sometimes kills you. Sometimes it kills you. I have won many a game where the Bitter Blossom betrayed my opponent.
That's why it's bitter.
That's why it's bitter. That's why it's bitter. We're going to thank all our patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank the manabase.com for being our sponsor. This has been Nikachu and his brother playing Modern Merfolk in the Modern Challenge.